First U.S. Electoral College chooses George Washington as president and John Adams as vice president. The 1788-89 United States presidential election was the first quadrennial presidential election. It was held from Monday, December 15, 1788, to Saturday, January 10, 1789, under the new Constitution ratified that same year. George Washington was unanimously elected for the first of his two terms as president, and John Adams became the first vice president. This was the only U.S. presidential election that spanned 2 calendar years without a contingent election. Under the Articles of Confederation, which was ratified in 1781, the United States had no head of state. Separation of the executive function of government from the legislative was incomplete, similar to countries that use a parliamentary system. Federal power, strictly limited, was reserved to the Congress of the Confederation, whose President of the United States in Congress assembled was also chair of the Committee of the States, which aimed to fulfill a function similar to that of the modern cabinet. The Constitution created the offices of President and Vice President, fully separating these offices from Congress. The Constitution established an electoral college, based on each state's congressional representation, in which each elector would cast 2 votes for 2 candidates, a procedure modified in 1804 by the ratification of the 12th Amendment. States had varying methods for choosing presidential electors. In 5 states, the state legislature chose electors. The other 6 chose electors through some form involving a popular vote, though in only 2 states did the choice depend directly on a statewide vote in a way even roughly resembling the modern method in all states. The enormously popular Washington was distinguished as the former commander of the Continental Army during the American Revolutionary War. After he agreed to come out of retirement, it was known that he would be elected by virtual acclaim. Washington did not select a running mate, as that concept was not yet developed. No formal political parties existed, though an informally organized consistent difference of opinion had already manifested between Federalists and Anti-Federalists. Thus, the contest for the vice presidency was open. Thomas Jefferson predicted that a popular Northern leader such as Governor John Hancock of Massachusetts or John Adams, a former minister to Great Britain, who had represented Massachusetts in Congress, would be elected vice president. Anti-Federalist leaders such as Patrick Henry, who did not run, and George Clinton, who had opposed ratification of the Constitution, also represented potential choices. All 69 electors cast 1 vote for Washington, making his election unanimous. Adams won 34 electoral votes and the vice presidency. The remaining 35 electoral votes were split among 10 candidates, including John Jay, who finished third with 9 electoral votes. 3 states were ineligible to participate in the election. New York's legislature did not choose electors on time, and North Carolina and Rhode Island had not ratified the Constitution yet. Washington was inaugurated in New York City on April 30, 1789, 57 days after the first Congress convened.